Tiny Tina's Walkerland at Wonderlands. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words on Steam, even though it's only available on the Epic Games Store at this moment in time. Embark on an epic adventure full of whimsy, wonder and high-powered weaponry. Roll your own multi-class hero, then shoot, loot, slash and cast on a quest to stop the Dragon Lord. First up, guys, we'll have a look at the graphical options. There's quite a few of them, as all PC games should have. A good splattering of graphical options that you can adjust to actually make the game run as best as it can on your machine. You can also rebind all of your keys, which again is a PC game, and it is a PC game if it's on the PC. It might also be a console game if it's on a console, but it's a PC game if it's on a PC. And you can bind all your keys, and it's got good graphical options and sound options and gameplay options. So huge respect to the developers for that. That's exactly how it should be, and I think they've learned from the last time, because the last time Borderlands 3, there was one of the keys, I think it was the use key, the Y key it was for the chat, that you couldn't bind. So yeah, at least they've fixed that now. Graphically, I think this is the best looking Borderlands game. I think it looks better than Borderlands 3. It looks fantastic, to be honest. Really do like the graphics. Some of the places you go to just look so atmospheric, really nice. There's loads of different places that look completely different from each other as well, so they've done well with the graphics as well on this. This game's quite different to other Borderlands games in as such as you have this overworld where you kind of move your characters around, and that's where you come across the different quests. You'll then enter a quest, and then you'll go into first person mode in sometimes just a small arena depending on the quest. Other times it's a large area that you go through. It's not an open world game, it's a linear game, but that's not a problem. Some of the best first person shooters ever made have been linear games. Your Half-Lives, your Praise, your Fears and things like that. So it isn't a problem. It works really well. I love the Overland, the way they've done that, and then diving into the first person mode really worked for me. I love that whole concept, brilliant. Where I think the game falls is in exactly the same places that Borderlands 3 fell. I mean, reviews are opinions, remember, and the things that I didn't like in Borderlands 3 are all prevalent in this game. For example, the characters. I can't stand the character. Do you know what? Borderlands used to be funny. It's now just so cringy, and it's got totally woke now that it's just not a bit funny. I don't think I laughed once. It's just, do you know what? I even got to the point where I was like, right, I'm turning all the voices off. They are just grating on me. Tina, she's just the most annoying person ever. She starts off talking normally, and then she always yells her last 6 or 7 words. So if she's trying to tell you something, you don't understand the last bit of what she's saying. It's all just, oh God, who did they even base these off? My goodness. Awful.
An extra powerful skeleton arises! I've had it! A gate bars your way, and a gentleman stands just before it. A gentleman wearing a pirate hat. Oh, but he's not just any pirate. He's a skeleton pirate!
Another thing that really got me was in Borderlands 3 you got a total overwhelmed with guns. In this you get overwhelmed with guns, you get overwhelmed with spells, you get overwhelmed with everything, and that's a problem. It's an even bigger problem in this than it was in Borderlands 3, because in this they've changed the way the game plays. You select a class where you have spells and that. I was like this magical caster, so you're getting overwhelmed with spells as well. I found that like every half a level, because some of the levels take 45 minutes or so to get through if they're big, or half an hour anyway, and so after your bag fills up from empty after 15 minutes in this game. It's crazy. It's because the quests have parts, and if you complete each part you'll get like a chest with loads of shit in it, shit being the operative word. So you have to sift through it all, and you'll find all the weapons that you're getting are like maybe a micro% different to the other one, and it just becomes a problem where you just say, oh sod this, anything that isn't purple or blue is going in the trash. And it's just an overwhelming chore. It's like busy work all the time, doing busy work, because you do need to loot everything so you can sell it, because you have these vending machines where you can buy purples and blues, and so you need a good cash flow so you might be able to buy a really good gun. But really good guns are few and far between. They're not as good, the guns in this, as what in Borderlands 3. I prefer the guns in that much better. It took me about 10 hours to find a gun I really enjoyed, and then you only keep them for 3 or 4 levels, and then you got to say goodbye to them because you out level them. And I think they've screwed up with the guns. The gunplay is good, don't get me wrong, the gunplay is really good. When you get a good gun, it's fantastic, and the enemies is good. There's a lot of nice enemies with loads of different powers, people that charge at you and explode, big stompy things that are just so easy because they're so slow. Really good. I enjoyed pretty much all of the firefights that I had in the game. The boss fights, on the other hand, I didn't so much enjoy. They were a little bit too easy. It's quite a casual game, this. I think Borderlands 3 is harder than this. What I've played of this, I've played it in solo and co-op on the balanced difficulty. That's the middle difficulty level. And I found, even with my arm, and I can't aim properly with my arm yet, it still twitches now and then. As you probably see in some of the footage, it'll suddenly just go off. I still managed to fly through the game with it, so it's not a difficult game by any means. The new abilities, sort of the class system, quite interesting actually, because I was a mage and you get a lot of control over how you play that character. I, for example, sacrificed my shields and a lot of my health just to put a lot of the points into crit, so that I became like a glass cannon. Very little survivability, but by goodness, I hit hard, and that adds a certain dimension to the combat. That's really good fun. Blasting away with your guns, and you can carry 4 at a time when you level up far enough. Switching between them, reloading, firing off your bolts of magic. You do different types of magic damage as well. There's frost, electricity, poison, and things like that. And other classes, there's like hunter classes where you have pets, wyverns flying around, breathing fire on people. It all looks really cool when it's in full action in a big firefight. It's really, really cool. But I prefer Borderlands 3 to this. This looks better, but I think Borderlands 3, as much as it was cringe as well, this is more cringe. Horrible characters, really poor story. I do like the overworld map, I do like the gunplay, but there's far too much busy work sorting out your inventory all the bloody time. Games aren't supposed to be like that, and they never used to be. Games should be about just fun, just a good story, good fun, and no busy work. This is full of busy work, full of horrible bloody cringe, and unfortunately an overwhelming amount of weapons and armor and just gear that you just get, and it just gets boring after a while. So there you go. If you like good gunplay, this is definitely a game to consider. It's a full price £55 game, only on Epic at the moment. It is coming to Steam, but we don't know when, and that's going to put a lot of people off. But you can get it on Green Man Gaming. It's on discount at the minute. There's a link in the description, so if you don't want all the money to go to Epic, there's an option to get it from Green Man Gaming.